Car vous êtes abattus, la Rififi, la Rififi. I thought she looked familiar. I was looking at her and I was thinking, I know that face from somewhere. I swear I've seen her before, and I looked in the booklet. Magali Noel. Magali Noel. Amarcord. I was like, I thought those breasts looked familiar. Anyway. Bonjour! Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection reviewer person here. Number 115, Jules Dassin's Rififi. Oh boy! Talk about crime. I mean, you think about Big Deal on Madonna Street. We just had that two movies ago, and this is another movie about a crime heist that actually goes right for a little while. Spoilers abound. I'm gonna spoil this one for you guys. I mean, this one was really good, but yeah, this is just, I want to tell you about the story just because. Alright, so, focuses on a aging gangster who gets out of jail. His name's Tony Le Stefani, or something like that, who conspires with his friends Joe and Mario. Mario comes in with this plan to rob this jewelry store, and they gonna cut in the window and steal some jewels. But before all that happens, Tony decides to check in with an old sweetheart, his girl. What is her name? What is her name? Not Remy. Mado, who's apparently sleeping with a rival gangster. So he beats her because gangsters do that. And so after he finds out that she's been seeing him, Tony's like, all right, I'll take the job, but we gotta take the safe. I don't want to go through the window. So they hire another. Mario hires safecracker. His name is Cesar, who's played by Jules Dassin, the director himself. And they all come together and conspire. And one night they finally get around to doing it, and it's one of the most. It's a really famous scene where there's like 30 seconds of silence, and Dassin decided to just. You see the robbery happen. They go through the ceiling of the floor of the couple who live above the jewelry store where the safe is, and so they tie them up and gag them, and then they work in the living room and drill a hole through the ceiling and lower themselves down and all that, and they disarm the alarm and all that. And they try to figure, and there's a really cool scene where they get the alarm. I think Cesar finds out what kind of alarm system they do. They order one themselves, and they try to figure out how to disarm it before they go in, and that's a really, really neat little scene. So, yeah, but anyway, it's really famous because the whole scene is done without silence, and there's no dialogue, no music, you just hear the sound effects, and they look at each other, and they just, they talk with their eyes, and you hear and then he tries to drill into the safe, but it makes too much noise, so they wrap a towel around it, and they put a silencer on the blade or something, or the drill, and it's really trippy. And then as the piece de resistance is Cesar opening up the safe with a kind of a can opener kind of device. It's very, very intriguing. Anyway, but compared to Big Deal on Madonna Street, the heist is successful. They get the jewels, they go home, and they look at them, and they're just talking about them, and they're just all smiles. They're just they're happy, and so they talk about what they're going to do. And so I think Tony hides them in the base of this lamp. So, however, and here's where things go horribly, horribly wrong. Cesar, I believe it was Cesar, accidentally, or doesn't accidentally, he takes a ring and gives it to his sweetheart, who works at the, I think it's Magno Noli's character, Viviane, who sings the Rififi song early in the movie. And he gives her the ring, and the guys working there notice it. And so somehow the rival gangster, his name is the Grutier, I think it's Louis Grutier, and his brothers, they notice it, and so they ask him, where does he get the money? And they read the paper, and they find out about the heist, and they put two and two together, and they, slowly start to crack down on Tony and Joe and Mario. First, they, kidnap. They don't do anything to Vivienne, but they kidnap. They kidnap Cesar and tie him up, and they end up killing Mario and his girlfriend, Ida, I think. Yeah, Ida. And then in a final move, they kidnap Joe's little son. So Tony says, "Let me take care of it." And so they're calling, but at the same time, Joe is in conference with Pierre, I think, Louis Gautier, the phone, and says, has Tony bring the money here and you'll see your kid and all that. Tony wants to go get the kid himself, so he finds their hideout. He kills the brothers and he kidnaps the son, or he takes the son back, rather. It's not kidnapping at that point. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, Joe loses his patience and decides to leave without taking the money down, without waiting for Tony to call back and say, I have your son, don't worry about, don't leave. And so when he finds out, Joe goes to the hideout, Pierre gets there, Pierre's there waiting for him, and he finds out that the kid's gone. And so when Joe gets there, he kills him. Pierre shoots Joe, and Tony, at the same time finds out that he isn't there. Joe isn't at the house. His wife tells him. So he's racing back, and just as he's getting out of the car, he hears the gunshots, and he runs up there, and Pierre is Louis is watching him through the window, and he every time he tries to shoot at him, he ducks out of the way, and then but at the last second, Tony waits too long in an open window, and Louis shoots him. Gautier shoots him, and Tony falls and is kind of really hurt, and so as the Gautier, the last remaining Gautier brother, tries to leave with the loot, Tony gets up and shoots him, and he rescues his kid, whose name is Tonio, and he gets in the car and he's dying at the same time. He's dying. He's racing back to try and get Joe's kid back to his mother. And they keep cutting shots to Tony's leg, which is bleeding. The blood is dripping down his leg and staining his sock. And so he's racing, and the camera shots are crazy, and he's running, and he's sweating profusely, and he's trying to keep himself alive, until he gets to Joe's place. At the last second, he finally just crashes the car, and he just falls asleep and dies on the wheel. And Joe's mother comes out, takes him, and that's how the movie ends. Cops find the body and find the loot, and there you go. So it's just talk about. I think Dasein was really about suspense. He nailed the suspense aspect of this movie, and I think that's definitely his, probably his strong point. I mean, I'd love to see his other films now, to see just what kind of stories he gets. I mean, I think a lot of it came from the original novel that this movie was based on, but not sure. Not sure. I haven't read the novel, obviously, but yeah, that's about the size of it. So this was a great one. I think cinematography is wonderful. I think the shot when Cesar is kidnapped, it's from the I think the gangster's point of view, and you see just the camera shot walking toward, and you see it and Cesar's walking this way, and just as he comes in the shot, you see him get tied up and all that. And of course, like I said, the final scene where Tony's racing back to drop off Tonio is just, and you see shots of the city from and just really, really frantic driving, and it's a trip and a half. So yeah, it's a good one, and because of that, I give it an A. Rififi is one of those movies that I'm gonna own and watch a couple times. I mean, it promises this melange of suspense, brutality, and dark humor. I didn't really get the dark humor. I mean, there's a little funny. I mean, I think Mario's pretty funny. He's probably, especially during the scene where they're trying to figure out the alarm, he's singing songs and stuff like that. And so yeah, there's a little bit of dark humor, but it's pretty suspenseful and just more or less on the suspense. It's a suspense movie. How many more times am I going to say suspense? Suspense, suspense, suspense. There. Okay. So Rififi, that's pretty much all I can say about Rififi. It's an A. It's a great movie, and it's still in print, albeit not in this version. There's a new version that has the dual format Blu-ray DVD, thing with a new cover that has it's like blue, and it shows I think Joe lowering himself in the rope, and it the light is like this hand that has a jewel, a ring in it. So yeah, that'll probably be the version I'll have to get. But anyway, that's it. That's all I can say about Rififi. A great suspenseful film, and just goes to show you that you don't always need music to really get you in a movie, and it makes you think. I mean, the music is wonderful. I mean, the music that's in the film is really good. It does the trick for the scenes that it's in, but for that scene, it totally nailed it with the silence. So Rififi, A, I'm getting it, and you should probably too. Oh, supplements. There's a half-hour interview with Jules Dassin from 2000 where he talks about him being on the blacklist, which is I gotta start looking into this because it's kind of getting weird hearing about this blacklist, and it's kind of sad, about everything, how people name names and all that, and how he kind of added Tony's assassinating Cesar into that film to kind of parallel how he felt about being betrayed and in the blacklist in the McCarthy area and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much the only big supplement. It's a really informative interview, and then there's production notes, stills, and the trailer, and yeah. And then I didn't realize until after the film was over that there was the optional English dub soundtrack. But after watching the trailer and hearing the actors, I think you got to always hear it at the original, which I kind of want to watch now. I want to watch Monsieur Hulot's Holiday with the original French, soundtrack over it. But but with that film though, a little English, here and there, it didn't really take away from the charm of the film. With this, it's for the scenes where there are dialogue, there really is dialogue. So there you go. Rififi, A, get it. All right, that's it from me. Next we got Hidden Fortress and Diary of a Chambermaid after that, and then Sullivan's Travels. And we're still waiting on With Nail and I. I'll probably get it tomorrow, but it might not be till next week. And as far as the schedule goes, How to Get Ahead into Advertising, I was able to nail a copy from my local DVD store. So hopefully I'll be buying that within the week, and I'll have that ready for when the time comes. But yeah, I think next week I'm actually going to be pretty busy, so you might not see a lot of me. So we're going to try to knock out a couple in the next few days, hopefully. Hidden Fortress, we'll probably get to this one. Actually, probably won't get to this till Monday. Not sure right now, but maybe Sunday. But yeah, probably Monday. We'll see. Diary of a Chambermaid, once again, probably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday morning. I'm not sure. Sullivan's Travels, yeah, and so on and so forth. But Wednesday will probably be we'll probably do one Wednesday just because I won't have a lot of time next Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. So anyway, that's just giving you a little heads up on where my schedule is right now. But Hidden Fortress is coming very soon, in the next 2 or 3 days. So there you go. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't steal jewels, and don't sing songs about Rififi, and don't subtitle your movie Rififi Means Trouble if you're an American and you're subtitling a French movie, because that just sounds stupid. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you sometime soon, very soon, for Hidden Fortress. Akira Kurosawa awaits me. Anyway, goodbye.